All right. Greetings. This is Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres, and it's gonna be a great day. Hey! Well, I'd kind of like to continue my conversation about safety. And we talked last time about cows, calves, bovine. That's the official word for it. Now let's talk about porcine, or pigs. And here I am, I'm coming into my sow pen, and I'll turn this around. Oh, I gotta have where I can see here. Okay. And these are, I only have 4 sows now. This one is definitely pregnant, and she's thinking I might have some food. This is the red machine. See, she's missing a little hair because she's been getting bred. She's going into her molt. These are babies that were born last fall. And there was only 2 of them from this gal right here. And she had a litter just a short time ago, and we didn't get any survivors out of it. We don't know what happened. I think it might have happened in a snowstorm, but never did see anything from there. But let's talk a little bit about safety around pigs. And again, you know, the idea is not to scare anybody here. It's just that if you're going to enter into this, I feel like I should. I mean, if you're going to enter into this because of the things that I say, I don't think I can leave out the safety precautions here. And I guess I'll start with the least worst things that can happen when you keep animals like this, pigs. All breeds are a little different, but they're still all pigs, and they have certain behavior characteristics that, you know, you have to get serious about containing them. And you know, it's been said that you can't contain pigs, but that's absolutely not true. Ever since I built this pen here, we have not had one escape from here. And they don't really have a reason to escape. All they're doing really is wanting to sleep, eat, drink, and make babies. That's all they really want to do. They're not interested in what's going on at the next farm or in town, or they don't care about that. So they're into food. So long as they are fed, they're fine. But if they do get out, what they can do is they can dig up your lawn. They will find brand new trees that you've planted. They can go into the garden. If the back door is open to the house, they'll come in the house, and who knows what they'll do in the house. I mean, it's not happened to us, but it could happen. So that's some of the precautions that you have to think about when you keep pigs. Fencing is definitely doable by the average person, but you just need to know how to do it, right? And that's where Anyone Can Farm comes in. You know, we talk about fencing, and it's a good thing to know how to do. And I am going to do a fencing class this spring, and it's usually about a day. And if there's interest in that, let me know, and then I'll put it out there. Usually it's just a small class for people very local, and usually people that we've dealt with on other things. But if you can build a fence to keep these animals in, they're probably some of the more difficult to keep in. Not the most difficult. I would say sheep are worse, because sheep just have that coat, and they don't get shocked unless they touch their nose on the fence. But anyway, so that's something you have to consider with pigs, is containment of them. Another thing to consider is they get big. The sows are big, and they have teeth. And when they have babies, yeah, sometimes they can be pretty protective of them. That's a good mom. And people have been bitten. I've been bitten. We had an NPR reporter here one time that got bitten. It was bad. We were trying to say how docile they are, and one of them got bit. But it wasn't bad. It was just a flesh wound. Didn't lose any bones or anything. But they can. Then we go from sows to boars. All right. A boar is an intact male, and they have a tusk that comes down out of their top jaw. It turns, and then it comes up like this. And it's there for their, when they're in their natural world. I don't believe in cutting tails off and cutting teeth out and stuff like that. I just don't do that. The only thing that we do is castrate. But if you don't castrate, the taste is pretty noticeable, and there's a lot of conversation about that. And well, I'm not going to talk about that now. Here's the main thing with boars, and I'm sure there's going to be somebody out there that's going to say this is not true, but this is our experience with boars. I have a Mangalitsa boar in there. His name is Friendly, and we keep him here because he's friendly. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes it's not good. It's kind of nice if you have a boar that wants to stay away from you. That's kind of good. But then again, he has no reason to protect you either. Now, Friendly, he's been here 5 years or so. Here's the facts on this. He's got these tusks. We know it. My kids don't come in here and play generally, but if I want them to burn branches in here, they can come in and out. I'll usually make sure that I'm around just in case something were to go wrong. I'm in here now, and they could care less that I'm in here. He's over there sleeping. I might as well walk over there. But, okay. Pigs are probably more like human beings than giraffes. And we're probably more like pigs than horses. So, if you come in here and your boar has got on his mind that he'd like to be with some of your sows, and you come in and you present competition to him, I'll turn this around, show these guys. He is going to see you as a threat to his operation, what he wants out of life. And he just wants to eat, sleep, make babies. That's it. That's Friendly right there in the front. So if your sows are in, they're just a, and then you come in the pen and then you present competition to him, then he's going to think he needs to get you out of here. And men can be susceptible to that. Women, it's a totally different thing. If a woman is in, if she is fertile or she's cycling in, he will sense that. And then he will see me as a threat to what he wants to do with her. And so he's aggressive towards me, and he will see her, like this has happened with my wife, as his little plaything. And when they do their playing around with their sows to get them going, they cut them a lot of times. They'll push them around with the tusks, and they will actually cut them. And my wife did get cut. Get cut right on the shin. And when we analyzed what had gone on and why he did that, we realized it was day 4 after the girls had farrowed, where your sows will cycle back in 4 days after. And we went in there to see the babies, and we were giving the sows plenty of room, but he came right over and he just wanted to be petted, and then all of a sudden he reared back and hit Jill with his tusk and got her on the shin. Not bad. Wintertime, she had long johns on. But that's the fact, Jack. And people will dispute that, but we've seen this for years and years and years. And that I've talked about it with some older pig keepers and producers, and they say, oh yeah, that's for sure. I know there'll be experts out there that will say I don't know what I'm talking about, but okay. The other thing is, and this is just what I've experienced. It didn't happen with him. It happened with another boar that I had. I was feeding him by hand. And if you've ever seen a bear feeding, and the bear just keeps coming, he gets really into what you're giving him, and he's chomping. and he just keeps coming and chomping. And I got bit. And I got bit at the top of my leg where it connects to my torso in towards the center, but not dead center, just a little off center. And when his teeth came together, it pinched my pants and that flesh that was there, and it made a mess. And it was not the kind of cut that you can get stitched, because it wasn't a slash. It was just a, I don't know, a mush of flesh. And that was pretty bad. Scared the heck out of me. He didn't mean it. I know he didn't mean it. He was just, I was feeding him, and that was, you know, what happened, because he wasn't a mean guy at all. I am pretty adamant about this place being safe for the people that are here. I don't want, you know, to have, like, if there's a rooster around that's chasing the kids, he's dinner. I mean, right now. I don't want that going on here. And so if we had a boar that was mean, and I thought he was going to do damage to one of my kids or me or my wife, then he would definitely be gone. And, you know, whenever you're going to call me and ask me what to do, I'll tell you right now, don't wait another day, because bad things can happen really quickly. You know, I mean, pigs are omnivores, and they see you as a piece of meat. Not mine. I mean, not the way I raise them. You know, they have a lot of contact with me, and they mostly stay away from me. I don't like them being real friendly, as I've told you. They're not exactly wild. I can touch them, but they're not going to come up and rub on me and stuff. I don't really like that. Just because when you've got to get in a pen and you've got to do things, if you've got big mature animals that all want to be pented, it can be kind of not good. And especially if you have children that go in, they get, and the pigs mob children to, you know, get petted and stuff. It can turn ugly pretty quick. And pigs aren't inherently mean. It's just how they're raised. Now, if you're raising thousands of them, they see you very little, have very little contact with you, and don't know much about you. And then they see you as a piece of meat. And then I'd like to answer some frequently asked questions. I get this all the time. And I think it's along the lines of American folklore, right? Things people say, and then somebody else says it, and it sounds good, so then people that don't know any better will say it again, and before you know it, it's sort of true. But people have asked me, well, if you feed your pigs raw meat, let's say we butchered a cow, and there's a lot of parts of it that we're not going to use, and there's too much of it for the dogs or whatever, and we give it to the pigs. They're omnivores. They're designed to eat meat. In the natural world, if they found a dead deer out in the woods, they would eat it. That's how you know there's no feral swine in Michigan, because you would see these feral swine that they claim are here on every dead deer kill alongside the road. Then the county wouldn't have to allocate all this money to pick up dead deer. So people think that if you feed them meat, it'll make them vicious and mean. It's not true. That's like, you know, if you have a rare hamburger, does that make you vicious and mean and want to eat other human beings? No, it doesn't. So I don't know where that comes from, but if you think it through, in my experience and my understanding, there is no truth to that whatsoever, because these pigs are omnivores. They require animal protein to do well. They're designed for it, and not saying they have to have it, because a lot of growers don't use any animal protein. But if you're using hog chow, you're definitely using animal protein, and I don't recommend hog chow at all. We're lucky that we have a chicken processing business where we accumulate a lot of heads, feet, and guts, and that can all go to your pigs. It's legitimate, it's fresh meat, and you know, I think there's this mantra out there that, oh, everything's got to be cooked, and that's just not true. That's just not true. Their system is designed to digest these things, and just like compost pile will digest the entrails of a chicken, so will their gut will also digest that, and it will do it safely and effectively, and they'll get the benefit out of it. And this is what I've seen. Yeah, so it's kind of like saying if you feed your kids some blood sausage, or you feed your kids some bologna, they're gonna, you'd have to keep them away from your pigs because they've tasted blood. They're gonna attack your chickens and kill your chickens. It's just not true. Same thing with your dogs. I mean, we give our dogs raw meat all the time. You know, in the natural world, the dog wouldn't say, "I'm not eating this, it's not cooked." They'd eat it just fine. Matter of fact, they're designed to eat raw meat, and then probably we are too. I don't know when this started of us cooking meat, but maybe it's something that we need to try. Maybe we would be superhumans if we were eating raw meat all the time. I don't care for it as much as cooked, and maybe that's you know, an environmental thing, but we'll see. Anyway, I wanted to talk about safety like that, and I think the next time we'll go on to the next animal and what safety concerns you need to have. Now, these things are things to just have in your mind. You don't need to be afraid of your animals, but you need to know their capabilities. All right, just keep that in mind. And if I missed anything, research it. Remember, anyone can farm.